Good morning, and this is the first video of this season where I'm wearing a coat because, yep, welcome to northern Michigan. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from the Mackinac Bridge. Well, what I have today is, first, the quest to not ramble on incessantly. I've done this video several times and it always gets too chatty, and there I go again. But the first bow that I remember seeing as a young man, as a kid, was actually a First Nations bow, or Native American bow, a real one. And it was, I forget where it was, but it was strung, and it was short, and it was cool. And that really was the seed of my bow making journey. I didn't grow up in the UK, so I didn't see like English war bows and longbows wherever I lived. I grew up in North America, and because of that, you know, really, I'm like passionate about native style bows. They ranged greatly. There were long Cherokee longbows, and there were short West Coast paddle bows. And so there was a great variety of bows throughout North America. 48 inches to me is a magic number. I like short bows. For one reason is that I live in a woodland. And so a short bow has definite advantages over a very long bow. I was a ground hunter, never hunted from a blind. I was always stalking and on the ground and ambushing, and so I was in brushy conditions. And so short bows, when I did hunt with a traditional bow, it was a 52-inch bear recurve, which was very tiny. And I don't know how many deer I got with that, more than a few, and also a 250-pound boar. And so with that little short bow, I was able to take pretty fair-sized game. So you can't tell me that short bows aren't effective. If you go to the northern plains, of course, they were dropping buffalo, American bison, from horseback with really short bows, shorter than that 52-inch bear recurve. And so, fans, this is my version of my perfect bow. 48 inches long. My mouth is frozen. Developed for one of my favorite bow woods, red oak. And so I widened it. It looks somewhat Modoc-y. A person could look at the textbook bow from any tribe. Cherokee, for example, black locust. They also use some other bow woods, but black locust. So with that example, I want to say, never say always, because there were exceptions. In fact, some of the bows that were used in the plains on horseback resembled in some ways, shared common design influences with West Coast paddle bows. You might take a range of Modoc bows and then find the narrower ones. Length is pretty comparable to the northern plains, and also the design of the face. What I was striving for was to get a workable width in this medium red oak, which also translates to white oak and ash and everything else, all the somewhat similar whitewoods, that would lend itself to a very effective hunting weapon, or reproduction for that matter, that would be of compact size. So if you had the combination bow case quiver, where you can just stick everything in the one beautifully arranged package so your hands are free. This would also serve as a camping bow, or a survival bow, or a prepper's bow, as well as a hunting bow or a reproduction. Now I am going to be offering these unbacked, also backed. When I say backed, if you haven't watched my other videos, laminating either deer sinew, I like white-tailed deer, or rawhide to them. At 48 inches, if this was a little bit lighter, this is a very stiff bow. it could be shot as a self bow. It wouldn't need backing. You can always cheat your way to a longer draw length by deflexing the limbs a little bit. But I'm going to sell these as straight limbs. If you look at, say, the members of a particular tribe 150, 200 years ago, there was a tribal influence, but you couldn't pick it, you couldn't really determine it to a specific tribe because there was a range of bow styles within that tribe. Individuals practice a great deal of artistry in their own minds. Bow makers would add their own flair, their own details, and so there was a range of bows within a certain tribe. So I can't narrow this down, nor would I want to narrow it down to a particular tribe. But what I have is, it's about 1 3/4 inches at the widest. It actually curves. This was designed from the ground up by me, first of all, to be representative of First Nations bows, and also designed in a way that would allow it to be a very effective bow and easy for you to back with either sinew or rawhide, or even that beautiful mock rattlesnake or copperhead that Mike Yancey at Pine Hollow Longbows sells. That would be a very easy way to back these things. You can steam bend it. You could steam that center and reflex the handle and then deflex the limbs gently in a nice arc to get a gull wing bow. You could certainly deflex the center section and then recurve it. You could just recurve it, leave it straight, or even just deflex the limbs a little bit to cheat your way to a longer draw length. How this is designed was to minimize the amount of arrow bending around the handle, so I constricted the handle, which is representative of First Nations bows. And also this tip detail, very Northern Plains. I really love this style of tip. A lot of leverage so you can narrow the tips there. Being me, they will come with string grooves, however, very First Nations, double groove right there for like a slip loop or a loop, and then a single groove on the other side where the end is tied on. And so they'll be offered at a reasonable price. So you can either finish it as a self bow, steam bend it, or boil the tips to recurve. You can sinew back it, you can rawhide back it, you can paint it with geometric patterns so it looks like a MODOT. This is a vehicle for your journey into the world of bow making, or if you're a bow maker already, you know, pick these things up. I also think it would be a good idea for, say, a Boy Scout troop or a Girl Scout troop. I'm not going to be sexist here, where you can get unfinished bows, and then the young'uns can certainly finish and decorate them and have their own bows that they had placed their own handiwork into it. Or you can just buy a bunch of them. Have a lot of fun. I wouldn't recommend them for LARP because these things are going to be pretty reasonably heavy. As far as draw weight, a lot of it depends on draw length. So I'm not going to go beyond saying that these will be 35 to 55 pound bows. You can certainly, because they're short limb, with 80 grit sandpaper, tailor them down to where you want. But I'm just going to sell them at a range between 35 and 50 pound. You know, and then if you don't want to shoot 50, just knock an inch off your draw length and it'll be 45. And that's enough. I'm going to get in the house and have my second cup of coffee. Hopefully you can see the detail on it. Right off the bat, the tiller is pretty good. I'm not going to finish tiller it until after I back it though. And for those of you who are telling me that you're disappointed that I don't have anything on my eBay store, I'm going to. Within the next couple days I will be having things on eBay. I apologize because I use U.S. Postal Service that I'm not going to be selling these 48 inches out of the country, but because you can ship up to 46 inches, all I need to do is knock an inch off each limb and these things can be shipped worldwide. Thank you for watching, and I hope it's a little bit warmer where you are. Have a great day.